All right, so we've got Tuesday now. This is, let's see, it's an hourly chart. Let's go on to the 15-minute. Now, yesterday I talked about the PST level. Let's do this. That was on the weekly, and I said that's the place where you need to buy, on the PST. And then that red line there, okay, on the weekly, as you know, that's 61, and that's 2,341 on the weekly, and it's 2,349 on the price. Okay, but as you can see, the market's done that, 61, 2341. So if you had, all right, that's it. These are the Astro hours. Also 5:30 was an Astro hour right here. All right, so Astro hour, swing hour. Okay, market comes down, swing hour, PST level 2,320 on the weekly is that line there, the blue 59, 2,321, and that's it. Okay, so now we've got a breakout on there on the daily. Okay, so this has got potential to kind of push up. So what can we do about that? Okay. Let's take a look on the daily. Do I have a level? Not particularly, except 2,328. So that level, which is pretty much the daily pivot. Okay, so the daily pivot today is not a bad zone. The swing hours for today, I've already posted them on the members area, okay, are going to be, as far as we're concerned, 10:20 to 11 o'clock. It's going to be there. Remember the news as well today. Let's just put these in. Right, so there, here we go. Okay, so what we can do, the market's going sideways, as you can see. Now this is a narrow range, okay, as you can see, so it's a little tricky, but the market closed up and we're above this breakout here, and we still have room to go up on the PST. And on the weekly, as you can see, this is 61, 61, 65, and the market's done 61.40. So if we break above that 2,341, 2,341 is there. Okay, so if we break above that 2,342, let's say, and then if there's a put, and if we stick around there and the market pulls back, we can get back in. So 53, that's the target off. 2342, that's still on the cards. 2342. So this is the zone. Look, 2,342, let's say it there. 2,341, let's say there. So this zone is going to be a tricky zone. Okay, it's on the weekly, it's on the daily target, so the market might actually sell from there as well. Okay, so we have to be a little careful on this one. If the market comes up into this zone in a swing hour, then selling is not a bad idea because it's on the weekly right there, and it's also on the daily. You just need to keep an eye out for that 2,349 on the price, but overall I think that zone is okay to be selling. If it breaks out above that 61 level, which is 2,341.42, if it breaks above, don't stand in front of it, because you know we might push up then. Okay, as you know, I don't like to stand in front of a PST level, trade on the lines and at the right hour. Okay, so hopefully that is going to be working out for you. Okay, let's do that. Okay, here we are. And remember, we had Monday and Tuesday for a swing day on gold. So if Monday, it could be the low. Tuesday, we might end up here selling off. So you have to be careful, because we've got the so far inside bar on Monday, inside of the Friday. So it's a little tricky. Euro dollar. Right here then, this is euro dollar yesterday. Market pushing up and then closing that gap. Now what to do with the euro dollar? We talked about this zone here, as you can see. It's done all the PST targets, interestingly enough, and then that's downwards. So pushing further down is not a bad idea. Okay, market making the targets, so want to push further down, I think is okay. Where can you sell this off? The LCL1 line is not a bad idea. 1.0744 at a swing hour. 1.0744 up here. So market comes down. If it goes up a little bit, selling is not a bad idea. Okay, to push it down. There's still a bit of a gap here, I think. If I just make this a little bigger. Yeah. So the market should still push down a little bit. But seeing that, you can see the power of the PST target zones there. So if there's room to go, it'll go, hit there, and then pull back. So now we can push down maybe into that 41 level, 1.069. So market's got potential down to 069. Into there. Alright. So that's that. On the weekly, let's just double check. 41.0689. So that works out fine. Okay. So pushing down a little bit here is okay. If you want to sell it at the swing hours from the high zones, what can I say? There's a bit of is there a gap here? Just a little bit. So if it pops up a little bit, selling is not a bad idea. Stick your swing hours along. Also today, 130. This 130 was not a bad spot. Alright, so in any case though, stick your hours on and then take it from there. So we've got 1020. So if the market does come up, selling down is not a bad idea at the swing hours. Okay, that's that. Let's take a look at SP500. SP500. Now remember last week I said we should be selling this week, and I think that's still the case. That's a nice breakdown if you're using your PST. So selling from the tops, I think, is the way to go. So what can you do? Where can we sell off is the question. Now we've got news happening today. As you can see, this is turning into a distribution at the highs. Okay, if I tighten this up, okay, market's been going up, so now this is a distribution. Okay, so what should happen is this should break down. Okay, when it breaks down, it'll do a pull up and then you can sell off. Okay, consequently, if the market goes up a little bit more, it's still sellable. So what can I say? Coming back down. Like if we go back up again, let's say, sell again. So from the highs I would be selling at your swing hours according to your technical analysis. Go with it. As you can see here, the weekly pivot's okay. It might just do a sweep and then pull back in. That's also okay, not a problem. And this looks like a formation here on Friday, a peak formation, kind of like squeezing everybody at the top there. So any push up, even the opening, closing, the weekly pivot, those zones, just be mindful for the Astro hours and the news coming out, because Fed's talking today, and because the Fed's talking, there's a swing hour happening at 4:20. Now he's going to talk at 4:30, right? So he's talking at 4:30. So 4:20 might be a good setup. Okay, might be a good setup for the market to start a move. Okay, that's that on the SP 500. So the other indices as well, probably going through that same distribution model. So if we see the prices pushing up, we should look for a place to sell. Here's Nasdaq. Let's do this. Okay, here we are. Same kind of thing, as you can see. So if the market goes back up, selling is not a bad idea. These levels we placed in yesterday, so looks like selling is the way to go on this one as well. Okay, so yeah. Okay, so selling from this zone is looking good. Your daily support is this 50.62, so that needs to break if we're going to go down. 39.035. 39.035 is pretty much there. Okay, so this zone needs to break. On the weekly, 51.38.632. 38.632, so that's the zone there. So selling is not a bad idea. You can move that into your 15-minute chart. Let's get rid of these, and then if the market goes up, selling is okay. Alright, and that's how it is. Okay, nice. If you want to wait for after the Fed talk and the 5 o'clock news, you can, because there's another good entry from 6:45 to 7:15. Okay, in that time zone. If you don't want to risk the news, it's also good. Not a problem. Let's take a look at Nasdaq. Alright, same kind of thing here, as you can see. We've marked that in before, in the beginning. And yeah, we've got a nice fall here. So this should also take us down. Okay, so we've got an A, B, C formation. We should be shooting down. That should bring us to filling in the gap. So we should pretty much come into an order block here. Okay, so this could come all the way down there, and that's 40 level is 19,220. 19,220 is pretty much there. Okay, and the 34 level is lower, so coming back into this order block is pretty logical on this. Okay, if you want to sell it off, it's doable. Where to sell, obviously there's a gap here, so an up move and then sell off is okay. As you can see, the market's saying distribution zone. If I turn this into an hourly chart, there you go. Okay, so we're going sideways after the big pushing up, so the highs are okay to sell. Let's get rid of that. Okay, So selling the previous day's high is okay. There aren't any gaps here on the hourly, so pretty much so. Okay, and that looks like a peak formation, so this thing isn't looking like it's going to come back into that zone. Any sell-off from here in these higher zones is also okay if it pops up. If it goes down and then comes back into the weekly pivot to a swing hour, you can sell again and push down. If you want, you can wait for the breakdown and then sell on the swing hour of a pullback. That's also okay, no problem. Let's take a look at Bitcoin. Bitcoin. All right, so we did say a bit of a pullback to sell off again is okay. Let's see. This is the weekly. I can actually get rid of this and that. Those are done. So this is what we're left with. We still have room to come down. So I still say selling is not a bad idea. This is your zone. We talked about this as well the other day. Okay, that's your zone. All right, it's pretty much touched it. So yeah, selling this zone at swing hours, I don't think it's a bad idea. It should just push it down. It might have a bit of a room to kind of go up, retest that zone. So selling in this zone is okay. That PSD price is 64,494. Right, so PSD 54 here. The price for that is 64,494. So if the market does come up a little bit more, selling is okay to push down. Okay, if you want to buy to go up there, do it at 44 PSD, 62,117.